The sirens wail. The windows rattle. You are moving through the dark with a flashlight in one hand and a go bag in the other. And then you hear it. Not the sirens, not the gunfire. The high, thin, piercing wail of your youngest child. They're not crying because they're hurt. They're crying because the world just stopped making sense, and the small ancient part of their brain that handles fear has flooded their body with a chemical scream that no logic can reach. You can have all the gear in the world, but if you haven't drilled the panic out of your kids, you are not leading a family to safety. You are herding rabbits through a wolf den. Most parents will scream, beg, and shake their children into silence, and the silence will never come. You will run two specific drills that hardwire a calm response into their nervous system before the world ever breaks. Subscribe so you never miss this. Stay for the second drill. The one that costs $2 and turns the loudest, most terrifying sound on Earth into a trigger for a reward so powerful it rewires the brain in a single afternoon. The systemic lie is that children are naturally resilient, that they'll rise to the occasion. The parenting books, the social media gurus, they all sell the fantasy that love and reassurance will conquer fear. It won't. A child's prefrontal cortex, the rational decision-making part of the brain, is not fully developed until their mid-20s. In a crisis, their amygdala, the reptilian fear center, hijacks the entire system. Cortisol and adrenaline flood their tiny bloodstream. They cannot reason. They cannot calm down on command. They can only react with the most primitive survival response they have, a piercing, location broadcasting scream designed to summon a protector. In a grid-down world, that scream summons everyone. You cannot think your way out of a child's panic. You can only drill your way out. Drill 1, the fire drill. But make it real. You've done fire drills, the school bell rings, the kids line up. They walk outside, they giggle. That's not a drill, that's a parade. A real survival drill must be run in the dark with your actual bug-out gear on a random Tuesday night, when no one expects it. You kill the power at the breaker. You set off a loud, obnoxious alarm, a hand-crank siren, an air horn, a recording of a real emergency. The sound must trigger the same physiological startle response the real event will. Then you execute. Every child has a job. The 8-year-old grabs the baby's diaper bag. The 10-year-old grabs the flashlight and the shoes. The teenager grabs the water and the documents. Nobody speaks above a whisper. The rule is silence. If someone screams, cries, or freezes, you don't punish. You reset. You do it again and again, until the sound of the alarm triggers not a flood of fear, but a sequence of rehearsed, physical actions. Muscle memory bypasses the amygdala. A body that is moving through a train checklist is a body that is not frozen in terror. You run this drill monthly, then quarterly, then twice a year. Most parents have never run a single drill in the dark with their kids. They will discover the fatal gaps, the missing flashlight batteries, the child who can't find their shoes during a real crisis. You will discover them on a Tuesday night and fix them by Wednesday. Drill 2, the ice cream gunshot drill. This is the Pavlovian drill, the one that rewires the brainstem. A gunshot, a backfire, a shattering window. For a child, these are the loudest, most terrifying sounds on Earth. They trigger an immediate, uncontrollable panic response. You are going to pair that sound with the single most powerful reward in a child's universe, a frozen treat, an ice pop, a piece of chocolate, a little squeeze tube of frosting. Something cold, sweet, and instant. You go to a safe outdoor space, a range, a rural property, or even your backyard with a recording of a gunshot on a speaker. You tell the child, "We're going to hear a loud sound." When you hear it, you drop to the ground, you cover your ears, and you stay quiet. If you do it perfectly, you get the ice pop immediately. Then you fire the shot or play the recording. The child drops. You hand them the treat while they're still on the ground. You do this 5 times in a row, a dozen times over a weekend. What you are doing is forging a direct neural pathway between the sound of gunfire and a positive, rewarding outcome. The amygdala still fires, but instead of cascading into panic, the brain follows the trained pathway into a rehearsed physical drop and an expectation of reward. This is not a theory. This is classical conditioning, the same mechanism that trains service dogs to remain calm under artillery fire. Most people will call this cruel. They can call it whatever they want. A child who freezes under gunfire is a dead child. A child who drops, covers, and stays silent is a survivor. The ice pop is a $2 insurance policy on their life. Here is the reality: the parenting influencers and the gentle discipline blogs will never print. The world is not safe. The grid is not permanent. The sirens are not a drill. And your child's nervous system is a beautiful, fragile hair trigger instrument that was designed to survive predators on the savannah, not gunfire in a collapsed suburb. You cannot reason that instrument into silence. You can only condition. The fire drill in the dark carves a motor pathway that bypasses the freeze. The ice pop drill pairs the loudest threat with the sweetest reward. Together, they hardwire a response that happens faster than thought. When the crisis is real, and the gunshots crack through the drywall, your child will not scream. They will drop, cover, and wait for the treat. And you will be moving, clearing the house, knowing that your children are not broadcasting their location to the world. Now, drop a comment and tell me this. What is the loudest, most startling sound you can safely create or access for your drills? An air horn, a range, a recording on a Bluetooth speaker. Write it in the comments. If you don't have one, write buying an air horn tomorrow. And in the next video, we are moving from the kids to the adults. How to stop your own hands from shaking in a firefight using a 3-second breathing technique that Navy SEALs use to reset their nervous system mid-gunfight. I'll see you there.